Aries, the right yes today has a short window and a cost in clarity. The signal does not shout. You see it in the way a choice that has to be made before it loses force changes your posture, tone, or pace. Mars heats up words, exchanges, and your immediate surroundings. If you react just to discharge tension, you miss the point. It is a half-open door, a possible answer, an invitation not to put it off again. The good moment should not persuade you. It should find you awake enough to use a choice that has to be made before it loses force. For Aries, strength today means stopping before impulse chooses for you. If you wait to feel certain, the useful moment can become something else entirely. The danger is delaying things to stay elegant, then calling it fate when you let a door close. Move. Choose one verifiable step and take it before your mind opens too many exits. Come back when the day asks you to choose the cleanest opening. Taurus, today the cost is not only financial, it is how much room you leave other people to decide for you. The signal does not shout. You see it in the way a promise that needs measuring changes your posture, tone, or pace. With Mars in play, resources, money, and value ask for action, not noise. One clean move matters more than venting. This is the emotional quote for the day. Who pays, how much, and with what margin? Money is only part of it. A promise that needs measuring also shows how much space you give away without agreement. For Taurus, calm becomes a trap when standing still costs more than choosing. Naming value does not make it cold. It finally makes it shareable. If you leave the practical measurement vague, someone will use that gap to their advantage. Move. Separate generosity from price, then decide what you can truly sustain. Tomorrow will reward seeing cost, promise, and value in the same place.
Gemini, do not confuse attraction with an answer. Today your heart wants cleaner proof. In front of you are two doors. One lets you dodge discomfort now, the other forces that pressure into a choice. Moon sextile Lilith. In relationships, agreements, and confrontation, there is no need to dramatize, only to stop lying to the scene. It could be a chat, a glance, a pause in which you realize whether you want contact or only reassurance. What lights you up is not enough. A spark that demands truth must leave you more yourself, not more dependent. The stake is simple. Do not let fear of being unseen choose for you. For Gemini, understanding everything is not enough if a spark that demands truth is left without a decision. The risk is confusing intensity with direction. One thing excites you, the other leaves you intact. Move. Do not chase reassurance. Choose the gesture you can still stand behind tomorrow. Save this for the moment when the heart wants to run and dignity asks for measure. Cancer. An uncomfortable truth is not coming to hurt you. It is coming because the alibi has worn out. The signal does not shout. You see it in the way an alibi that has lost its polish changes your posture, tone, or pace. Moon is sextile Vesta. In intimacy, shared resources, and transformation, one small nuance can become a decision. This is the moment you realize you are not cold. You are just avoiding being touched. The dirty spot does not become clean because you explain it well. An alibi that has lost its polish wants a truer sentence. For Cancer, protecting everyone gets expensive when you lose your center at the very point that matters. The useful truth today does not humiliate. It simplifies the point you were making too complicated. The risk is defending a version of yourself that once worked, but now asks too much in return. Move. Write the sentence you are avoiding, then cut the part that stings and keep the part that is true. Send this to whoever needs a small but complete truth today. Leo. The turning point does not arrive when everything is clear. It arrives when you stop circling it. It is a door that does not open with more analysis, but with one small, sharp choice. Do not widen the scene too much.
one person, one sentence, one gesture, and a door that does not open by itself becomes readable. Mars lights up networks, friendships, and future projects. Action is needed, but it has to be steered before impulse takes over. The useful move does not need to be huge. It only needs to keep a door that does not open by itself from running the scene. For Leo, pride only works if it leaves space for the real choice. The stake is getting out of the mental loop. If you do not move anything, the block stays respectable. Delaying today may look tidy, but it gives more weight to the version of you that avoids. Move. Choose the gesture that lowers the noise, and do it without offering 3 explanations. Save this before you delay the move you already know is necessary. Virgo, today the cost is not only financial, it is how much room you leave other people to decide for you. In front of you are 2 doors. One lets you dodge discomfort now. The other forces that pressure into a choice. Mars heats up career, role, and public direction. If you react just to discharge tension, you miss the point. It could be an unstated number, a favor that keeps growing, or time someone already thinks is available. Here, practical boundaries protect dignity. Do not let a margin someone is already using depend on politeness alone. The stake is not letting discomfort set the price for you. For Virgo, detail only helps if it is not being used to delay a margin someone is already using. If you leave the real cost vague, someone will use that gap to their advantage. Move. Separate generosity from price. Then decide what you can truly sustain. Save this before you say yes to a number you have not really checked. Libra. The sky puts you in front of the thing that will not unlock with one more theory. In front of you are 2 doors. One lets you dodge discomfort now. The other forces that pressure into a choice. Mars creates pressure around vision, travel, and broad study. Use it to decide, not to force the scene. It is a door that does not open with more analysis, but with one small, sharp choice. As long as you watch it, a block that has to be moved looks bigger. Once you choose the first step, it loses power. An imperfect but real move today can be worth more than calm that keeps the problem intact. For Libra, useful peace does not leave a block that has to be moved, hanging in the vague. If the necessary move keeps waiting, tomorrow will take more force for the same result. Move. Choose the gesture that lowers the noise, and do it without offering 3 explanations. Come back when you want to call prudence what is really stagnation. Scorpio. Today, the shadow is not dramatic. It hides in the sentence you keep repeating to yourself. The signal does not shout. You see it in the way a truth left on the threshold changes your posture, tone, or pace. Uranus trine Pluto. In home, roots, and emotional base, there is no need to dramatize, only to stop lying to the scene. This is the point where you realize you are not cold. You are just avoiding being touched. The dirty spot does not become clean because you explain it well. A truth left on the threshold wants a truer sentence. For Scorpio, strength today means not mixing control with truth. If you do not name the fear, it will still find a way to right the day. The risk is defending a version of yourself that once worked, but now asks too much in return. Move. Don't react from the wound. Choose the boundary that still feels clean tomorrow. Tomorrow will care whether you were honest with yourself in the easiest place to lie. Sagittarius. Today the love signal is not sweet, it is exact, and maybe uncomfortable. This is the point where someone lights you up, but the sky asks you not to hand over the steering wheel. Do not widen the scene too much. One person, one sentence, one gesture, and a game that stops being light becomes readable. Saturn makes desire, creativity, and pleasure serious. What holds, stays. What performs, gets exposed. Affection becomes useful only when a game that stops being light, stops asking for reaction, and starts asking for truth. For Sagittarius, freedom today comes from giving the right thing a limit. A small truth today is worth more than a dramatic gesture that asks for explanation tomorrow. If that signal excites you but shrinks you, the bill arrives as your own dignity. Move. Do not chase reassurance. Choose the gesture you can still stand behind tomorrow. Save this before you call a reaction that only wants reassurance, love.
Capricorn. Today, the shadow is recognized by a sentence you want to explain too well.
The first path is to avoid naming a piece that costs too much and hope it passes. The second is to look at it now while it is still manageable. Saturn makes home, roots, and emotional base serious. What holds, stays. What performs, gets exposed. It could be silence, an explanation that sounds too polished, or a defense that looks like character. The more you try to stay lucid without feeling, the more a piece that costs too much finds a way to make itself heard. The useful truth today does not humiliate. It simplifies the point you were making too complicated.
For Capricorn, holding everything together is not enough if the truth underneath takes over. If you keep covering the truth underneath, the day may look calm while it decides for you. Move. Name the real reason before choosing the most convenient strategy. Mark the point that bothers you. Aquarius. The day is not asking for theatrical courage. It is asking for a verifiable act. The first path is to avoid naming a small but decisive gesture and hope it passes. The second is to look at it now, while it is still manageable. Mars lights up desire, creativity, and pleasure. Action is needed, but it has to be guided before impulse takes over. It could be the open file, the delayed reply, the point that only needs one act. Pressure becomes an ally when you use it to turn a small but decisive gesture into something real. The stake is getting out of the mental loop. If you do not move anything, the block stays respectable. For Aquarius, seeing beyond is useless if the necessary move never becomes concrete. If the necessary move keeps waiting, tomorrow will take more force for the same result. Move. Close one door. Send one reply. Shift one commitment. One thing only, but real. Mark the gesture, not the explanation. Pisces. Today you do not need to win the day. You need to win back a little breathing room. In front of you are two doors. One lets you dodge discomfort now, the other forces that pressure into a choice. With Venus in focus, daily work, method, and health are not neutral. What pleases you must also respect you. It could be a quieter room, a notification left outside, a body that stops negotiating. Protecting energy today is not disappearing. It is preventing the body's rhythm from spending the right choice. The stake is not burning good energy to support a shape that no longer serves. For Pisces, feeling everything is power, only if the body's rhythm does not stay in the fog. If you keep denying space to the tired part, the day may work on the outside and drain you on the inside. Move. Close one small cycle and leave outside the request that drains you. Tomorrow will care more about energy not spent than the scene you managed to hold together.